She comments under that post and she says, "This video is evil and disgusting. Do not ever involve me or my music to benefit your inhumane agenda." Honestly, I don't know which is more unpredictable. The fact that Nicki Minaj seems to support the America First agenda, or that the White House and Sabrina Carpenter have beef. And that's not even where it ended. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Gains for Girls podcast. Thanksgiving is officially over. Black Friday is officially over, which I really, really love this day. Black Friday is like my Super Bowl. Number one, obviously, the shopping. I hate to be like that very girly stereotype, but I do. I love it. I am very much like a bang for your buck kind of gal. I love a bargain. I love a sale. So I love Black Friday for that reason. But secondly, it's been a tradition in my family for as long as I can remember, where myself, my mom, my grandma, my sisters, my aunts, all the girl cousins, this year baby Margot got to go, which if you're watching at youtube.com/OutKick, I hope you are. You saw me point to the floor over here. Dad is at work today. So baby Margot is hanging out in the studio with mom. So if you hear some like weird grunting noises, it's not the dogs, it's not me, it's Margot. But she got to go this year at a whopping 8 weeks old, I believe at the time, which it's a pretty funny visual. You can picture me, my family, my mom, my grandma, like I said, everybody, all the girls in the mall shopping. I've got the stroller, right? Because it's convenient. You can throw all the bags, all the different things you buy on the stroller. Picture me and Margot trying to go up and down the escalator in the stroller. There was like multiple almost catastrophes. We made it out alive. We're here to tell the tale. But my grandma's birthday is always around the Thanksgiving time. Actually, this year it was on Thanksgiving Day. And so Black Friday is special because we'll all shop together, and then we all as a family go out to Cheesecake Factory and eat lunch together. We've done this for as long as I can remember. We eat our food, we get a piece of cheesecake, and that kind of like concludes the day. So a really, really special time that I look forward to every Thanksgiving season, but all of that is over. We are like in full-blown Christmas mode over here now. So much so that we went to the White House this past week to celebrate. I'm sure by now you've seen the impeccable job that the First Lady did in decorating the White House for Christmas. I want to take you guys behind the scenes, so I've got a little clip, a little montage that I put together. I figured better to just show you guys than explain it. So watch this. Our 8-week-old baby girl Margot is about to make her first trip to the White House outside of the womb. She's been to the White House inside the womb. She's met the president a few times inside the womb, but this will be her first time meeting him outside of the womb. Made it to Washington, D.C., got dressed in a bathroom. Maybe you guys can see the pride flag in the back. I feel very included here. I don't know what I would do if that flag were not there. It would probably be a hate crime.
We're almost empty nesters.
This is all edible. Gingerbread house. Icing, detailing, all edible.
But this is a special time of the year, and it's a special time for our country. And I believe I can say that I don't think our country's ever done better.
We're just now leaving. White House behind us. Beautiful sunset here in DC. She was a dream. She slept the entire time. She got to see President Trump. I can't wait to show her these pictures one day when she's older.
Melania did a phenomenal job decorating the White House.
Oh my gosh.
Looks amazing.
So much better
Yep.
than last year.
No gay nutcrackers this year.
Like I said in the video, it's just surreal that we have a 9-week-old baby, and one day I'll be able to show her all of these photos, all of the cool things that she's done that, I mean, most people in their lifetime can only dream of doing. Going to the White House during Christmas, that's like a bucket list item for so many people. Margot is able to check it off. At 9 weeks, she's been to 12 states already, which is absurd. And I know the clip, it didn't have audio, or at least I wasn't saying words the last 10 or 15 seconds or so. But my husband and I stopped by and saw the place where Sarah Beckstrom, an American hero, was murdered by an illegal Afghan immigrant. I have thought about and I have prayed desperately for her, for her family, for Andrew Wolfe, for his family. I know the Attorney General, AG Pam Bondi, came out today and said that Andrew, the other National Guardsman who was shot, it's a long road ahead of him, but he's alive, he's recovering, he's expected to make it. Really miraculous, and I will continue praying for him, and I hope you guys do as well. Both of their deaths were a choice. They were entirely preventable. And I'm of the mind that every single person who allowed for this to happen, including President Biden and certainly Mayorkas, should be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. But I digress. That is not what this episode is about. This episode, I wanted to talk to you guys about the new Trump savings account, which this is something that I have been anticipating since the introduction and the passing of the One Big Beautiful Bill, and it's something that I'm super excited about given the fact that we have a child that qualifies. First, let me tell you what the Trump savings account really is. Trump accounts are new investment accounts for children. So those who are under the age of 18. I'm going to read directly from the Rapid Response 47 page on X. It says, what is a Trump account? A Trump account is a tax deferred, meaning you pay taxes on the back end. A tax deferred savings account for children under 18. The accounts are designed to grow with investment earnings over time. And when the child becomes an adult, the accounts generally function like a traditional IRA. So what does this really mean? It means that each eligible child, and again, all you have to do to be eligible is be under the age of 18 and a U.S. citizen, between the calendar year of 2025 and 2028, can open up an account where the federal government will deposit $1,000 into a new investment account for you, the child. Which I will say, I didn't really like this idea at first, full disclosure. Feels pretty like socialism-y to me. The idea of the government giving people a check basically for $1,000 with no strings attached isn't typically like how I want my government to operate. I'm a conservative through and through, meaning I appreciate limited government. But let me tell you why I feel a little bit differently about this now upon reading about it, learning about it, what this really is. On top of the $1,000 initial investment from the government, families can then make additional contributions of up to $5,000 per year per child. And this is allowed to accrue over 18 years. And that money that's contributed, so the initial $1,000 and whatever private contributions there are then invested into low-cost U.S. stock market index funds. Money in the account generally cannot be withdrawn until the child turns 18 years old. And at that point, the account functions similar to that of a traditional IRA, like I said, meaning the funds can be used for specific purposes. In this case, in the Trump accounts, you can use this money for education first and foremost, for buying a first home, for starting a business, for other life milestones. So in short, these are long-term investment accounts for children, seeded by the government, that parents or families or private contributors can build upon through childhood with the goal of giving the child a financial head start in life. President Trump had a press conference at the White House about this earlier this week. Let's listen to some of his remarks.
Trump accounts will be the first, I guess you could say, real trust funds for every American child, allowing family members, employers, corporations, generous donors to contribute money that will be invested and grow over the course of a child's life to be used for their benefit after they turn 18. So in other words, these are children that are going to, an investment's going to be made. That investment's going to continue to grow, we hope, right? We hope. And, but it will. And they'll feel like Michael Dell someday. But at 18, they'll have a lot of money, a lot more money than they would have had, and potentially a lot of money. But these accounts will track the overall stock market and will be 100% private property controlled by the child's guardians.
So there you go. You heard President Trump mention Michael and Susan Dell. They gave one of the largest private donations in American history. $6.25 billion for the Trump accounts, for this idea. You heard President Trump, this will go to 25 million American children. I'm curious what the account would look like how how much money would be in the account after 18 years if you contribute the maximum amount. So $5,000 every single year with the initial $1,000. Let's pull up a compound interest calculator. Let's look up the growth on average of the S&P 500. This says about 7% a year. So let's go in this compound interest calculator. Initial investment is $1,000. Okay, monthly contribution. Let's do 5,000 divided by 12. It's about 416, which is I mean, it's a lot of money, $400 a month. Not many American families have $400 a month spare, but it's relatively manageable. Length of time in years, 18 years, estimated interest rate. Let's do 7% annually. Let's calculate this. Oh my goodness. So in 18 years in this account, you will have $173,000. Now imagine you don't touch that account. Let's say for someone like Margot, who is going to get a Division I athletic scholarship, right? Naturally. Let's give it till 22 years. She'll get it when she graduates college. Let's see. She will then have nearly $250,000 in this account at 22 years old, at $249,000. Let's say you don't touch it until you're 50 years old. How much will you have in this account? If you don't touch your Trump savings account that your parents start for you in the year 2025 until you're 50, you will have over $2 million in this account. This is game-changing. And the thing that I love about this is this benefits working families. These aren't just short-term benefits that we're talking about. Like, this is meant to give children a sustained financial foundation. And let's say you can't contribute the $415 or $416 every single month. Let's just do the initial investment of $1,000 and $0 a month. So you do nothing else. You don't touch the account for 18 years with the estimated interest rate of 7%. In 18 years, your child will have $3,379. That's $3,000 that you didn't have before. President Trump is creating like a whole new generation of capitalists who will get to experience the benefit of compound growth. I love this. This allows a way for everyone, every child, regardless of background, to have a financial head start in life. It encourages long-term planning and stability. It promotes economic independence and self-sufficiency for future adults. And I actually believe these Trump accounts are pro-life. He is making it easier for parents, working families, to have children. This is a concrete way to show societal commitment, not just commitment on behalf of his administration, because this will go on. I mean, his administration won't even really get to see the fruits of this. Like, this is societal commitment to children's futures. And it's not just through temporary aid. Again, this is generational wealth that we're talking about. Long-term opportunity. And in that, they're honoring, I believe, the value of life and empowering working families. President Trump has allowed for an economic benefit tied to having and raising children. And I'm not the only one who loves this. You might know who Nicki Minaj is. If you don't know her for her rapping abilities, maybe you know her from her appearance at the United Nations a few weeks ago. She was there to speak about the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. She posted this on X about the Trump accounts. She said, "I love this. This made me so happy." Whoa. Like, I love this. Nicki Minaj paying attention to what's going on in the political sphere. And these Trump accounts, let's be real, it's not something that Nicki Minaj will likely benefit much from. She's a multi-millionaire, but she still expresses her excitement and gratitude for a president who can help children in less fortunate positions. I just did not have Nicki Minaj being politically enthusiastic on my 2025 bingo card. I saw this and I just thought to myself, like, wow, God is really raising unlikely voices in this time to help expose injustice, as she did before the United Nations, and to help advance his kingdom. While Nicki Minaj may be a President Trump fan now, Sabrina Carpenter, on the other hand, is not. On Monday, the White House posted a video using Sabrina Carpenter's song Juno and talking about deportations. I'm sure it shocks you that Sabrina Carpenter did not find this video very funny. She comments under that post and she says, "This video is evil and disgusting. Do not ever involve me or my music to benefit your inhumane agenda." Honestly, I don't know which is more unpredictable. The fact that Nicki Minaj seems to support the America First agenda, or that the White House and Sabrina Carpenter have beef. And that's not even where it ended. A White House spokesperson by the name of Abigail Jackson came out and said this: "Here's a short and sweet message for Sabrina Carpenter. We won't apologize for deporting dangerous criminal, illegal murderers, rapists, and pedophiles from our country. Anyone who would defend these sick monsters must be stupid." Or is it slow? Okay, politics in 2025 is like so crazy. If you didn't know, these are some of Sabrina's songs. Stupid or is it slow is from her song Man-Child. Honestly, like, I don't know much about copyright laws. If Sabrina actually has a point to be made here in saying, like, you can't use my song, especially if she views this as inhumane and evil, I would imagine that she does, I guess. The only thing I want to contribute to this conversation, look, Sabrina, if you don't support our federal government enforcing federal law and removing people from this country who entered in illegally, then why don't you open your home? You know, your home that you live in a gated community. Maybe we should ask ourselves, why are those gates there? What are you protecting yourself from, Sabrina? Do you lock your door at night? I would imagine that you do. The same reason that Sabrina Carpenter lives in a gated community and locks her doors at night are the same reasons why we should want and support a strong border to this country. The job of the government is to put Americans first. It is not inhumane or evil for those who don't belong here to go back home. Americans should prioritize Americans, and of course, the government should prioritize Americans. That's really all there is to it. And Sabrina, if you really want to claim the mantle of compassion, maybe you should start by acknowledging victims that thus far you've chosen to ignore. American women, like Laken Riley, like Kayla Hamilton, like Ruby Garcia, like Jocelyn Nungare, like Rachel Morin, like Molly. Should I keep going? She was very quick to label this video as evil and inhumane, yet has shown zero interest in the American women specifically that have been murdered, brutalized, Gomez. Remember that video? This is the kind of selective outrage that exposes their hollow moral compass. I won't hold my breath for Sabrina Carpenter, Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, any of these white, which I hate to make this about race, it has nothing to do with race, I'm just noticing a common theme, any of these white, liberal, angry women who believe they're morally superior to you, which that's exactly what I thought when I saw this. Female Hollywood celebrity defies President Trump and his agenda. More news at 8. Nothing groundbreaking here. So maybe Nicki Minaj, being a President Trump stan, so it seems, is more unpredictable than this altercation between Sabrina Carpenter and the White House. We appreciate you guys on the Gains for Girls podcast, and we will see you again next week. In the meantime, make sure you like these episodes on YouTube. Make sure you comment down below. You can subscribe so you never miss an episode.